Not all income is equal. Some paychecks buy you time, others sell it back, minute by minute. Today, we rank 10 income sources from worst to best by time freedom, scalability, and passive potential. And we'll show estimated monthly income as bars that climb, country by country. Think of this as a map from survival to freedom. Hourly job, survival mode. You trade time for money, and the equation is brutal. Across low and middle income countries, a huge share of the workforce is informal or hourly paid, earning only enough to cover essentials. Many hourly roles, retail staff, delivery drivers, factory workers, face no paid leave, no benefits, and income that stops the moment you stop working. Globally, informal and precarious work remains widespread. Billions of workers depend on day-to-day wages in some form. That means income volatility, a sickness, a storm, an absent shift, and suddenly the paycheck disappears. Hourly jobs provide immediate cash flow, but no leverage, no compounding, and no path to passive return. In other words, time is the product, and you can't scale it. Salary job, stability without leverage. A salary gives predictability. It funds rent, family, and plans. But it often traps people in a fixed-time contract, 40 hours a week, annual reviews, slow raises. Even when productivity rises, wages frequently lag. That gap between value created and pay received is where frustration grows. Around the world, salaried employment forms the backbone of middle-class life. Pensions, healthcare access in some countries, and institutional stability. Yet the scalability is low. Promotions are scarce, and earning more usually requires trading even more time or switching jobs entirely. In high-cost cities, a high salary can still mean being house poor after taxes and housing. Freelancing. Flexible, fragile. Freelancing gave millions their first taste of autonomy. Platforms like marketplace names connected clients and creators, enabling remote work at scale. Freelancers can set rates, choose clients, and work from anywhere, a breakthrough for geographical arbitrage and time control. But the model is still active income. Stop finding clients, and income stops. Freelancers face irregular cash flow, client churn, and price compression from global competition. Studies and platform reports show the freelance economy is growing fast, yet most freelancers report income volatility and often keep multiple gigs just to stabilize monthly revenue. Commission-based work. High upside, high stress. Commission work is a study in extremes. Top performers can earn multiples of salaried peers. Realtors, top insurance sellers, enterprise sales reps, but earnings are performance-linked and volatile. Commission structures can drive enormous upside, but they demand relentless prospecting, resilience under rejection, and often long unpaid cycles until commissions land. In many markets, sales roles are the only path to rapid income growth without a degree, but the pressure is real. The gold bar's jagged top visually communicates that while the ceiling is high, the floor can be low. Freedom here is conditional. If you scale systems, teams, referrals, residuals, you climb. If you don't, income collapses. Side hustle, the seed of scalability. Side hustles are the engine of modern financial mobility. Whether it's an Etsy shop, a small YouTube channel, or part-time e-commerce, side hustles teach the fundamentals of business, product market fit, marketing, customer service, and systems. That school is where entrepreneurs learn to scale. Crucially, side hustles allow compounding. What starts as a few $100s can be reinvested into ads, inventory, or tools, turning a weekend project into a 24/7 revenue source. Platform economics and creator monetization tools increasingly enable small teams and solo founders to reach global customers without massive capital. Data from multiple creator economy reports, industry trend, shows more people supplement wages via online ventures. A meaningful share convert these hustles into full-time businesses within 2 to 5 years. High skill, remote job, location freedom, active income. A high-skill remote job is the new middle ground between wage work and true passive income. Software engineers, senior designers, product marketers, these roles command higher pay, and increasingly, geographic freedom. Remote work statistics over the last 5 years show a sustained shift. Millions have traded office commutes for flexible schedules and lower living costs. But remember, this is still active income. You trade expertise and time for compensation. The upside is meaningful. Higher wages, better negotiating power, and often benefits like stock options or performance bonuses. The real power comes when remote professionals use income to invest, to outsource, and to build side income that compounds. Real estate rental income, semi-passive, durable. Real estate is the classic engine of steady cash flow. When you own property that rents reliably, monthly payments can arrive whether you're awake or asleep. Rental yields vary, city to city, but a well-located rental can deliver consistent passive income plus capital appreciation over time. 2 facts to anchor this. First, property historically acts as an inflation hedge. Rents and values often rise with price levels. Second, good management systems, property managers, streamlined maintenance, tenant screening, make rental income semi-passive rather than full-time drudgery. Several investors use leverage, mortgages, to amplify returns. That increases risk but also magnifies gains if the market holds. Dividend investing, portfolio cash flow and compounding, owning income-producing assets, dividend stocks, preferred shares, and income ETFs, pays you for simply holding capital. Dividend yields vary by sector and market, but over time, reinvested dividends become a massive engine of compound growth. Consider this: a modest portfolio yielding 3 to 4% annually, reinvested over decades, builds a self-sustaining income stream. That's why retirees in the FIRE community prioritize dividend and passive income strategies. Low ongoing effort, high psychological security. Yes, markets swing, but dividends cushion downturns and provide cash flow even when prices wobble. Dividend investing requires capital and discipline, and diversification matters. Digital products and online assets. Build once, sell forever. This is the turning point. Digital products, online courses, SaaS tools, templates, ebooks, membership communities are the first class of modern passive income. You build once and sell infinitely. Your costs after launch approach zero. Your distribution is global. Real-world indicators. Creators who invest upfront in content, funnels, and ad spend often scale to 5 or 6-figure months. Small SaaS companies with subscription models reach predictable recurring revenue, which investors prize for its visibility and margins. The economics are attractive. High gross margins, near unlimited scaling, and the ability to automate delivery and support. Ownership and equity, the ultimate freedom multiplier. This is the summit. Ownership of systems, companies, and equity is how the largest fortunes are built and sustained. Equity multiplies value. You don't sell hours, you own the earning engine. When a startup scales, when a business captures market share, the owner benefits disproportionately. Not because they worked every hour, but because they created asymmetric returns. History and empirical studies tell a consistent story. The highest returning assets are those where you own a piece of enterprise value. Private companies, scalable startups, or equity in public firms. Venture capital, private equity, and founder equity capture outsized gains because of risk, timing, and scale. This is also where compounding becomes dramatic. Ownership stakes can turn modest initial capital into life-changing wealth. Risks, returns, and the time factor. A few practical truths before we pause the chart. Capital matters, but so does capital deployment skill. Dividends and real estate pay with capital. Digital products and equity pay with systems and product market fit. Scale requires systems. Moving from freelance to product to ownership is essentially moving from one-person output to systemic output. Teams, automation, and process. Risk is not a bug, it's the price of upside. Equity and digital ventures can return multiples, but they require tolerance for failure and the ability to learn quickly. Freedom isn't a lottery, it's a staircase built from deliberate moves. Learning a high-skill craft, experimenting with side projects, owning real assets, and ultimately investing in or creating businesses that scale. Start where you can. A side hustle, skill development, or a small rental. Reinvest gains. Build systems. Outsource where possible. Let time compound in your favor. Not all income is created equal, but every step can be a stepping stone. The chart you've just seen isn't just about money, it's about leverage, freedom, and control. At the bottom, you sell hours. At the top, you own systems, assets, and equity that keep working when you don't. The journey isn't overnight, it's a climb. From stability to scalability to true ownership. If this voiced map sharpened your view, do one practical thing. Pick one income source above your current position and take one measurable step this week. A course, a listing, an outreach, or a deposit. Drop a comment. Which bar are you on? And which are you climbing to next? Subscribe for tactical breakdowns on how to actually move up this chart, step by step, case by case. This is Finance Facts, your shortcut from time for money to time on your terms.